is picketing outside the NSFAS office in Cape Town this morning. They issued CEO Steven Zwane an ultimatum to vacate office, but he's failed to do so. Athi Mtongana is following this story, and let's go live to her in Wynberg. Athi, good morning to you. So, what deadline was given to Mr. Zwane for him to vacate office, and what is going to be the next step, given that he's not gone?
Well, Golly, you're right. We're standing in front of the NSFAS offices here in Wynberg in Cape Town. I am joined by the spokesperson of Nehawu. I'll ask him to shed more light. They just wrapped up a meeting amongst themselves. There was supposed to be a picket outside here. Now let's get him to shed light in terms of what their step will be following their meeting inside. Very good morning to you. So you were supposed to have a picket with members of Nehawu working as NSFAS employees. What happened to the rest of them for this picket?
Well, basically what happened was that we had returned to our branch to organize a branch meeting this morning at 10 a.m. to brief them all the ultimatum that was given to the CEO, of course, which expired yesterday. And yesterday, like I said, the ultimatum was expired, and then he was supposed to then leave yesterday, which he did not. So we were supposed to meet our members at 10 and report to them that he has not resigned. Therefore, then the picket commences. But unfortunately, the management has declined our request for that meeting to sit so that members can be taken aboard. And remember that when we said that we will do the picketing, it was supposed to be done within the ambit of the law. So it was not something that was going to be rowdy, but it was supposed to meant to help clean up the scheme, but not to be rowdy and destructive. So the management has denied us the permission to meet with members. Thus, members are inside. So if we're now to take out members on the street now, it would have meant that members would have to face disciplinary actions because they would be acting outside of the law. So for that, now we're having marathon meetings. We just came out of one with HR. Now we're meeting again to finalize then a proper date where management would then allow members to come out to get that briefing, but also prepare for the picket. But remember, we said should this action of today not be successful, there's a series of other things that we're planning to do. One, which is a march, which will come here in conjunction with SASCO and SAWS, which are leadership of students, because the students are also interested on the matter. So on the 31st, we'll be marching here. So we've already started with the process of applying for that march. But failure for that march to yield the desired results will escalate the matter and then take the actions to different universities, because we feel that if things have to remain the way they are, they will run the scheme being on the stage of total collapse. Because with Mr. Zwane at the helm, we feel that the scheme will not be able to do what it's meant to do, which is to administer grants and loan on behalf of students who come from poor and working class background. So we will ensure that we fight this matter up until its logical conclusion, and which would be in the victory of those who want to access higher education.
Now, the crux of the matter is here that you want, as Nehawu, you want the removal of the CEO. When is his term expiring, and have you tried to engage with him, and why do you want him removed as the CEO of NSFAS?
Well, as far as we know, his term will end next year. But to begin with, firstly, we feel that he's ineligible to be in that position because, one, he did not apply. Two, he did not even meet the requirement. So he's not the right person to be in that position, because our view is that he got the job because he's friends with the outgone chairperson of the board. So that's how we got the job. But we feel that during their tenure, while they were still doing their SECAS here, what happened was that they have their own scheme, which is called Ikusasa Financial Aid Scheme, which is sort of like a competitor to NSFAS because they do almost the same thing. But for some reason in the website of Ikusasa Lethu, NSFAS is listed as a partner. So they can't partner because they're doing one and the same thing. And we don't remember anywhere where they sat down and actually everyone was involved and there was a partnership that was connected between the two entities. So it must be something that they discussed somewhere in a golf course or somewhere. So we're not aware of that. So they were doing their own thing, trying to swallow up NSFAS. So we feel that if the scheme is really meant to do its core functions and do it properly, these two gentlemen would have to vacate them, the positions and the office. Of course, one is gone, so now we're waiting for the CEO to vacate office. But also the board, the entire board must be dissolved because they're complicit in some of the things that the two were doing. So we really want all of them removed. And the minister, we don't have a problem with the minister appointing an administrator oversee the scheme, but before that is done, before such an appointment is made, would want to see the terms of reference that will be given to that administrator and see what is it that they'll be doing here, whether it will yield any positive results going forward. So yeah, so we have many questions. I mean, some directed to the minister, because a few months ago the minister did say that the NSFAS was at the stage of collapse, and now she's done a 360-degree turn to say that the scheme is doing well when it's not, because as we speak now we have a backlog of 2016, 2017, 2018, and as such there's been halting of the applications for 2019. There can't be applications because students still have not been paid their grants and everything else, and at the core of this is the failing of the working class child who wants to get education. So we're a country who's supposed to invest in our youth, because the youth is our future. So if that is not happening, then it means everyone else there, especially Mr. Ngasana and Mr. Zwane, are failing the youth of their country and the country at large.
Now, quickly before I let you go, I know that your General Secretary now just went off to meet with HR. Where to from now as of today?
Well, from here, we're pleading with HR. Remember, we're not being rowdy. We're pleading with HR to give us a day in the next 7 days to engage with our members, right? So that we're able to engage our members. Remember, we're doing this on behalf of members, because all the members who are working here, the workers, are our members. So we have to do this on their behalf. We're a worker-led union. We don't take decisions on behalf of our members. Our members give us a mandate and we run with that. So that's the process. That's one of the side of the process. But the other one will be preparing for the match that I spoke about for the 31st, which will be done in conjunction with SASCO and SAUS and Nehawu, which will be directed here to vent on these issues. So we're trying all our best to ensure that we succeed on this matter on behalf of the student and the country at large.
All right, thank you very much. The spokesperson for Nehawu here in the Western Cape. We'll leave it here for now. Back to you in studio.